Some of my Patreon subscribers should be happy right now because I got the new fresh haircut. Yeah, as I mentioned in my last video, some of my Patreon subscribers in my last live stream was teasing me because I hadn't had a haircut since the Saturday before Memorial Day. But I just went to the barber shop on Saturday and got my fresh new cut. And then I probably won't get another haircut until mid-August. Nah, I'll probably get it before then. But, yeah. But since I got my new haircut, let me let Alexa take me up into the clouds. Alexa, transition me into cartoon mode for a few seconds.
Okay, as you wish.
All right, Alexa, back to real life. Back to reality.
If that is what you really want, King Alan, back to life, back to reality.
Thank you, Alexa.
You are very welcome, Mr. Currie. Mode 1.
Now, I get criticized again, as if that's something new. But no, not from a hater, the people who I call my haters and critics, but from a follower of mine, enthusiastic. If you remember, at minimum, this is at least the third time I've been accused of this. And really probably more than this, but minimum third time. See, if you've been following me since I first got on YouTube, which was in early April of 2017, a little over 2 years ago, was when I first got on YouTube. And I want to say my very first angry rant / admonishment video, the very first video I did that could be categorized as an angry rant and or an admonishment, was when I had a listener viewer of mine. He said, Alan, I want to say he actually called me dangerous. He said, he said something to that effect. He said, Alan, with all due respect, I think your message for men is dangerous. Or if he didn't say dangerous, he said, I think it will have a negative impact on society. He said, on one end, he did compliment one thing. He said, I do like and respect your emphasis on honesty, because I think most people should be honest with one another. But he said, you seem to place a dangerous level of emphasis on the pursuit of short-term, non-monogamous casual sex. He said, when I listen to it, it seems like just about all your emphasis is on the pursuit of short-term, non-monogamous casual sex companionship. He said, you never really talk about marriage. You never really talk about the pursuit of long-term, strictly monogamous romantic relationships. And most of all, you never really talk about true love. He said, you never really talk about true love. This was back in, I think, either April or May of 2017 when this guy wrote me. Then the second time I've dealt with this was, if you remember, I had a Patreon subscriber he's back to being my Patreon subscriber, a guy I'm actually very fond of. He's an international follower of mine. And he left me for about 3 or 4 months. I told this story on a video either earlier this year or late last year. Yeah, in fall of last year, he actually left me for a minimum of 3 months and as many as 4 months because he said that he felt like some of my perspective on women was jaded. And it almost bordered on being pessimistic. And he went on to say that he felt like the way I talk about women was causing him to look at all women as scandalous, unfaithful, adulterous slut types, but that I didn't put enough emphasis on the good girls of the world, the strictly monogamy-oriented good girls of the world. And similar to that other guy, he basically said, Alan, you don't seem to put enough emphasis on marriage, pursuing your next wife, pursuing your next long-term romantic companion, and the concept of true love. So he went and followed another dating coach, an indirect dating coach. And I know some of y'all probably thinking he probably followed Alpha Male Strategies. No, he didn't follow. It was somebody else. It wasn't Alpha Male Strategies. It was another dating coach who emphasized more indirect. But he said that led him to a lot of frustration. When he went back to being indirect, I don't want to get into the whole story, but essentially, yeah, he regretted it. And he ended up coming back to me. Because he said, what do I always say is the number one weakness of indirect, more than any other weakness, is that it opens the door to the women who I refer to as manipulative time wasters. And that was the biggest thing he said. He said when he went back to being indirect, he said two things. He said when it came to the women that he did successfully get in bed, he said there were some women he got in bed from being indirect, but he said it required a higher investment of time and a higher investment of money compared to being direct. He said it required a higher investment of time and a higher investment of money compared to the women he got in bed by being direct. And he said for the women he failed to get in bed, he said he wasted a significant amount of time and a significant amount of money on those women before realizing that they really weren't genuinely interested in having sex with him, which is two things I've always said. I've always said that. I've always said when you indirect compared to direct, when it comes to the women that you do successfully get in bed, I always say 95 to 99% chance you're going to invest more time and you're going to invest more money. You're going to invest more time and you're going to invest more money. And even worse, for the women that you fail to get in bed, you're going to end up wasting a lot of time and a lot of money only to find out days later, weeks later, or months later that those women really aren't interested in having sex with you. That's what caused me to go from mode 2 to mode 1 permanently. Is those two reasons. But yeah, that's what my follower ended up saying he realized, and that's what brought him back to being a Patreon subscriber of mine. Anyway, just this weekend, I had another guy write me. And he said, Alan, I'm going to be paraphrasing. I don't have the email in front of me. So I'm going to be paraphrasing what he said. But essentially, he was like, Alan, he said, I love your work. Guys, usually when they want to criticize me, my followers, they always start out complimenting. So he said, I love a lot of your content. I own at least 3 of your 4 audiobooks. I forget which audiobook he told me he didn't own. I think he said he didn't own Who Said Again. But he has Mode 1, he has Possibility of Sex, and he has the Beta Male Revolution audiobook. Yeah, I want to say the one audiobook he doesn't own is Who Said Again. And so he said, yeah, I love your videos. I love your audiobooks. I've read your freelance articles on the Negro Manosphere. And, but he said, man, if I have one criticism of you, Alan, man, and I hope you're not offended when I say this, but he said, I know you always want to point out that Mode 1 is not strictly about the pursuit of casual sex. I've heard you say that Mode 1 can be applied to all 4 types of relationships, which would be long-term monogamous, long-term non-monogamous, short-term monogamous, and short-term non-monogamous. He said, I've heard you say that Mode 1 applies to all 4 types of relationships. But he said, if I'm being real, it seemed like when I listen to you on your videos, no less than 80% of your emphasis is on short-term non-monogamous sex. He said, I rarely hear you giving advice that's geared towards helping men find their next wife, helping men find their next long-term romantic companion within the context of a strictly monogamous relationship. He said even serial monogamy short-term monogamous relationships. He said, I don't really hear you talk about that much. He said, it seemed like 4 out of every 5 videos you do, your emphasis seems to be about casual sex and like fuck buddies and pursuing, just get more fuck buddies. And he basically said, man, I'm at a place in my life where I don't want fuck buddies. He said, I want a meaningful relationship. I want to build a family. I want a wife. I want to have children. I want to build a family. And he said, Alan, I think you should emphasize that more. He said, I think, truthfully, I think your career would blow up and you would probably make more money if you put more emphasis on marriage and long-term romantic relationships. Which, in his defense, believe it or not, my own brother, Stephen, my own brother has actually suggested that at times. My brother has said that, so I can't say that that's not a suggestion I haven't heard before, because, yeah, my own blood brother has suggested to me at times. He said, bro, because sometimes I tease him about, if I have one little part-time hobby, my guilty pleasure hobby, y'all know I used to live in LA. I've talked about this on one video before. I was saying how, you ever subscribe to somebody's website and they start sending you emails and like at least half of you wants to unsubscribe, but the stuff that they happen to send you through that email subscription is to your interest, so you don't want to, you're not 100% enthusiastic about maintaining your subscription, but you don't want to unsubscribe either. Anyway, there's a top real estate person who emphasizes like Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills, what other areas of Los Angeles? Malibu. So he sends me these emails. I'm on his subscription list. He sends these emails with all these funky ass cribs, man. All these funky ass cribs. And I ain't gonna lie, I be drooling. I've never been a real highly materialistic person, and I think most people know me, who have known me for a while, know that. Compared to most people I know, my level of materialism is at best average, maybe even slightly below average. But as I've gotten older, man, I'm really into real nice cribs, man. Although I've always said I probably would never want to own a house again until I get married, unless I was married with children. As a bachelor, 95% chance I would never own a house again. Not as a bachelor. But if I got married and had children, yeah, I would want to. Anyway, man, this dude, man, if I showed y'all some of the cribs, man, they're just, they're way out of my price range. They're way out of my price range. But they mainly homes that, rich, famous celebrities would live in. But man, these cribs are just funky, man. Anyway, I'll be sharing someone with my brother. And my brother will always say, bro, if you want to live in a crib like that, you need to tone down your profanity, tone down the sexually explicit language, and diminish your emphasis on pursuing casual sex. You need to start putting more emphasis on men finding, meaningful relationships, true love, and that type of thing. So yeah, even my own brother has said that. Yeah, I'll tell y'all the one area, like whenever I go to LA, man, I go to either Hollywood Hills or the area, that's, if you know LA, Sunset Boulevard, Sunset Strip. That's the one area I would want to live. If I could, if somebody said, Alan, if you could live anywhere in the United States and money was no issue, where would you live? Sunset Strip. Right above Sunset Strip. Yep. Right above Sunset Strip, man. Love that area, man. Which is essentially Hollywood Hills. Because when I used to work for NBC, man, I used to deliver different packages, sometimes $1 million checks. Like people would say, Alan, here's a $5 million check. I need you to deliver it to this actor or this actress or this writer. So I would go to Hollywood Hills, man. Man, all these people had these funky ass cribs, man. Man. Anyway, so going back to this guy, who wrote me this weekend. Yeah, he said, Alan, he said, man, I think you need to put more in. I think you need to do more videos about love. And then he wrapped it up by saying, unless you don't believe in love. Would you say you don't believe in love, Alan? Am I to believe that you don't believe in love, or you're not a fan of what's known as true love? Well, if you've been following me since my Blog Talk Radio days, you should know I have a simple formula, very simple kind of mathematical formula for love. I've mentioned this when I used to write for the Examiner. I believe when I wrote for the Negro Manosphere. Like, matter of fact, speaking of Negro Manosphere, I wrote at least minimum of all my articles, at least 2 or 3 of them centered around marriage and or long-term relationships. Not all of my articles centered around casual sex. Yeah, I wrote at least 2 or 3 articles. I remember one was called, and if I find it, I'll put it in the comment section. One was called, here it is. Laughs, Orgasms, and Great Children, Why Men Want True Love. Laughs, Orgasms, and Great Children, Why Men Want True Love. And I'll include that in the comment section. That was one of the 2 or 3 articles I wrote that had to do with giving advice on marriage or long-term relationships. But yeah, here's my simple formula. Well, I technically have 2. One, this is my definition of love in really overly simplistic terms. Yeah, I'm still not over that cold, man. I thought I was 100% over my cold, but last night I was coughing like crazy, man. I think it might be because in my apartment I live in, I have what's known, most people know, central air. So when I'm outside, it's real hot. And then I come in, it's not too cold, but it's kind of, chilled. Anytime my body experiences a change in temperature like that, I'm susceptible to colds. Oh, I don't want to say, I appreciate a lot of you guys, my followers. Whenever I'm dealing with a health ailment, I have a percentage of my followers and supporters that will send me advice or recommendations for health remedies, either home remedies, over-the-counter remedies, etc. So I want y'all to know, man, that really touches me. And I'm not being lighthearted. That really touches me, man. When you guys make comments like, Alan, man, we want you to stay healthy. We don't want to lose you prematurely. Please take care of your health. Here's some tips on how to take care of your health. When I get those type of comments, man, that really means a lot to me. So I don't want to get mushy or sentimental, but I think that's really cool of y'all to do that, to look out for my health. Help me look out for my health. Love. My simple, overly simplistic formula for love is simply this. Lust, pure lust plus friendship. Pure lust plus friendship. That's my, the Alan Roger Currie formula for love. And it has been probably for like the last 15, 20 plus years. Yeah, because I used to bring that up a lot when I used to do my Blog Talk Radio show between 2007 and 2016. That's always been my formula for love. Again, it's an overly simplistic formula, but that's my formula for love. Is pure lust plus genuine friendship equals true love. In other words, another slight variation for that for me would be enjoyable sex plus enjoyable conversation equals the foundation for true love to happen. Enjoyable sex plus enjoyable conversation equals the foundation for true love to happen. Yeah, that's what I believe. You heard me in one video, I think a couple weeks ago or so. I mentioned, about the ancient Greeks, guys like Plato and Aristotle, Socrates. Well, it's well known among ancient Greeks, they separated love into a minimum of 4 categories. And some people say that when they were being really more ultra specific, they had even more than 4 categories. But I'll stick with 4 categories for now. The ancient Greeks basically had 4 categories of love. 4 categories of love. One was spiritual love, which was, I think, also known as Agápe, spiritual love. That represents the type of love you would have for God, considering if you're a spiritual person. Like, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person, although I used to be when I was younger. But I am a spiritual person. In other words, I'm not an atheist and I'm not agnostic. I'm not an atheist and I'm not agnostic. I do believe in God. I'm not a fan of organized religion, but I am spiritual. So that's one type of love, spiritual love. That's when that mainly centers around love for God. Love for God. And I want to say along with that, love basically for your fellow human beings. That would be agape love. The other type of love is family love. Family love. I want to say the name of that is philia. Philia. And I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's I think it's Storge. Storge is family love. Family love. That basically represents the love you have for your parents, the love you have for your siblings, the love you have for your children and your blood relatives. That's Storge. It's family love. That represents the love you have for your parents, your siblings, and your children. And other relatives, other family relatives. That's the second type of love. Third type of love is the one I mentioned already, philia or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, platonic love. Platonic love. That's the third type of love, is platonic love. That's the love you have for a close platonic friend of yours. It could be a platonic friend of the same gender or a platonic friend of the opposite gender. But yeah, that's the third type of love, is platonic love. Platonic love. And then the final type of love is what's known as sexual love. Sexual love. Essentially, the ancient Greeks said sexual love is essentially the same thing as lust. Sexual love and lust are essentially the same thing. They're essentially the same thing. Romantic love, which is similar to my formula, would be a combination of platonic love and sexual love. Or what I like to more so say, friendship plus lust. Friendship plus lust. The ancient Greeks, if they were describing it, they would probably say platonic love plus sexual love. Because for them, sexual love is the same thing as lust. Now, they had an interesting take on sexual love. The ancient Greeks basically said of the 4 types of love, they felt like sexual love is the least stable, and the most fickle, which is essentially the same thing. Fickle means unstable or fleeting. Fickle means unstable and or fleeting. Yeah, they basically said sexual love out of 4 types of love is the least stable and the most fickle, mainly because they said a large part of sexual love, i.e. lust, is dependent on physical attraction. Physical attraction. So in real practical terms, they basically argued that if you call yourself in love with a woman on a purely sexual level, if that woman, say, gains 75 to 100 pounds, your lust is going to dissipate. It's going to diminish because you're going to be like, damn, she's fat now. I ain't lusting after her now. She done gained like 75 to 100 pounds, which happens to a lot of women if they either just get lazy or after they have children. Like, I know a lot of women who had a slim, nice, shapely body before they had children. And then once they had like at least one child, and definitely once they had 2 or more children, they got fat than a motherfucker. I mean, that's very common among women after they have children. If a woman is real heavy and she ain't had no children, then she just a lazy ass. I'll just say that. She just lazy. She just lazy, got poor eating habits, and lazy and non-existent exercise habits. But a lot of women will get real heavy who used to have a nice body will get heavy after they have like 2 or more children. Now, there's a lot of women, man. That's where I got to give Kim Kardashian pub. And a lot of female celebrities, man. Kim Kardashian, man, she's had like, what, 3 children now? 3 or 4 children? She never lets herself get out of shape, man. You can have your criticisms about Kim Kardashian. She's a materialistic type chick, superficial, shallow type chick. But that chick keeps herself in generally good shape. She don't let herself get all fat and sloppy looking. And, but yeah. So that's why the ancient Greeks said that sexual love, or i.e. lust, is the least stable and most fickle because it's too dependent on physical appearance. It's too dependent on physical attraction. I would say in both directions, not just in terms of men putting emphasis on women's physical attractiveness, but contrary to popular belief, women put a certain degree of emphasis on men's physical attractiveness. I've always said, particularly when it comes to casual sex, their emphasis diminishes when it comes to marriage and long-term relationships. But for casual sex, looks always play a part. Looks and sex appeal. Remember those 7 categories I was talking about in my last video? My 7 categories? Which was looks, sex appeal, age, intelligence and or education, race, ethnicity, or cultural or religious background, career success, money status, fame, and the final one was mouthpiece. I would say out of these 7, here are the 3 that most affect your success when it comes to casual sex. Here I go emphasizing casual sex again. Looks, mouthpiece, sex appeal. Looks, mouthpiece, sex appeal. Those 3 are the 3 that play the most emphasis for a woman when it comes to casual sex. Is sex appeal, looks, mouthpiece. Yeah. Those are the 3 that's the most important for the average woman when it comes to casual sex. Now, when it comes to more marriage or more long-term relationships, then those other characteristics come into play. I got to tell y'all, man, I just experienced one of the worst things you could experience as a video podcaster. Wow. My video stopped recording on my smartphone. I was talking for like the last, at least 20 to 30 minutes, and my smartphone wasn't even recording. I thought it was recording, and it wasn't even recording. Fuck. And as most of you know, I speak what's known as extemporaneously. Extemporaneously, meaning I don't have like specific notes in front of me or a script or even as much as bullet points. Like when I first got on YouTube, I used to have at least bullet points. But I just speak off the top of my head, man. And so when you speak off the top of your head and you try to recreate the same specific words, and anyway, man, that's a tough pill. That's only second. So in the last 2+ years since I've been recording video podcasts, that's only the second, no more than third time that's happened to me, where I thought I was recording only to realize later that the shit wasn't recorded. But anyway, where I left off was I was talking about one of my followers. Fuck, this is frustrating. Accused me of not putting enough emphasis on true love. And I said my formula is pure lust plus genuine friendship equals true love. Or enjoyable sex plus enjoyable conversation equals the basis or the foundation for true love to develop. And I want to make it clear, I'm not anti-love. I'm not anti-true love. Not in any way, shape, or form. I'm not anti-true love. Like my brother, he has a great loving relationship with his wife, my sister-in-law. And I got close friends and fraternity brothers who have a great loving relationship with their wives, significant others. I'm not anti-love, but here's what I believe. I believe that a lot of love, what a lot of men and women categorize as love is bullshit. In simple terms, I believe in what a lot of people categorize as love is bullshit. If I had to give 2 or 3 examples. On the male end, there are a lot of men who will say, man, I love my wife, but man, if she was to gain 50, 60, 75, 100 pounds, man, I'd be ready to divorce her. I'd be ready to break up with her. Then that ain't love. If your love is predicated on your wife, fiance, or long-term girlfriend being exceptionally good looking and super sexy, that ain't love. That ain't love. How's that love? That ain't true love. That, at minimum, that's representative of sexual love. Because again, sexual love is essentially the same thing as lust. So even the ancient Greeks agreed that lust is predicated on a woman's, or a man and a woman's physical attractiveness and sex appeal. So you could say that's representative of sexual love, but I define true love or romantic love as a combination of platonic love and sexual love, or lust plus friendship. Lust plus friendship. So a woman's looks might cover the lust part of your love, but that don't have nothing to do with the friendship portion. So how is that true love? Same with women. There are a lot of women who are just the opposite. They'll put more emphasis on the friendship component of love. But I know women who are married to guys that they're not even physically or sexually attracted to. Y'all remember the one woman who I brought up a few times, the graduate student at UCLA that I used to fuck, Caucasian blonde. She told me not only was she not really physically and sexually attracted to her fiance at the time, but she said in general she wasn't really physically and sexually attracted to white men, period. Even though she was white. But she admitted to me while I was fucking her that her preference was for black men. Yeah, she said she had a preference for black men as far as strictly sexual companionship. She liked black men. She basically admitted that she was getting ready to marry her fiance for this, for the sake of how much money he was making. He was making like about $900,000 a year at that time. So there's a lot of women who are superficial and shallow when it comes to men's money, or if not money, just a lot of women that will hook up with guys simply because they have a high degree of platonic love for that guy. There's a lot of women who will hook up with men because they have a lot of platonic love for a guy. And then similarly, there's a lot of men who hook up with women because they have a high degree of lust and sexual love for a woman, but they don't really have that much platonic love for that woman. So both of them, like a lot of men, another thing about a lot of men confuse strict monogamy. I wrote an article on Examiner.com about this, how a lot of men confuse strict monogamy and a desire for pussy ownership with love. That ain't love. That ain't true love. If your main emphasis is on pussy ownership, which is unrealistic in this day and age, that ain't love. I know, for example, I know a lot of guys who be like, man, I love my wife, but if I ever found out she cheating on me, ooh, I would divorce her in a microsecond, or I'd break up with her in a microsecond. Then you ain't really in love with her. How you gonna say you really in love with your wife if you would break up with her if you found out she cheated on you? That ain't love. At least by my definition, it ain't. That's ego. That ain't got nothing to do with lust or friendship. That has to do with ego right there. When you have a strong desire, when you're territorial about women's pussies, territorial, possessive and territorial, that's your ego. That's your ego talking. You don't want your ego bruised is what it is about that. That's ego. That ain't got nothing to do with friendship, genuine friendship, which is one of the two components of true love. And that really ain't got nothing to do with lust. That has to do with your ego. Which, you know, the ego can bring down a lot of men. My brother always warns me about managing my ego. Because the ego, as I said in my Mom One book, the ego can be simultaneously your ally at times and your enemy. It can be both. It's a double-edged sword. It can be your ally, best friend, or it can be your worst enemy. A man got to always watch out for his ego, man. Got to always manage his ego. Yeah, your ego can help enhance your self-esteem and help you achieve a lot of your goals and objectives. But at the same time, an ego can lead to your self-destruction. The ego can lead to your self-destruction. I've seen that happen with a lot of people, famous people in the public eye, where their ego was their downfall. Same with relationships, man. Yeah, that your ego relates to that whole desire for pussy ownership. So you got to watch out for that. And speaking of cheating, in my Patreon exclusive portion, I want to talk about two types of cheating. When women will cheat on you and stay with you, or when they're cheating on you because they're in the early stages of preparing to divorce you or break up with you. When women will cheat on you as representative of them being in the early stages of divorcing you or breaking up with you. I'm going to discuss that in my Patreon exclusive portion. But I will say, if love is your thing, make sure it involves those two components at minimum. That's the minimum thing. Matter of fact, of those 4 ancient Greek loves, I would say if children are involved, your relationship and marriage is going to involve 3 of those 4 loves. It's going to involve platonic love, sexual love, i.e. lust, and also family love. You know, because family love involves love for your parents, your siblings, your children, and other relatives. That's family love. So once you have children, family love is going to be involved. So it's going to be 3 components, 3 of those 4 ancient Greek types of love involved. So love is not a bad thing, but just make sure that it's real, it's genuine. If it's highly conditional or predicated on one attribute, such as looks or sex appeal or money, career success, that ain't real love. That you're just in a relationship of convenience. You're just in a relationship of convenience, either with a high emphasis on platonic love, a glorified platonic friendship, or a relationship of convenience with a high emphasis on lust, a glorified fuck buddy relationship. But true love is never conditional. Join me in my Patreon exclusive portion.